It doesn't sound like you're holding your anger. It sounds like you're free. Is it really always happen through pain?
110%.
Ugh.
Because think about it. Think about it. I can't tell you the amount of time, like when you're a kid and your mom's like, "Don't touch the fire, don't touch the fire, don't touch the fire." You don't believe her until you
Mhm.
touch the fire and you get burned, and you're like, "Oh, that's why she said don't touch the fire." But every once in a while, we can kind of put our logic together to be like, that seems dangerous. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But the
Or full circle again, if you grew up being imprinted instead of from history, imprinted with yourself, with your natural predispositions, then you would trust your intuition and you would not need pain for growth. And it's so interesting because talk about flowers. Yes, you have to prune some plants to get another bloom. But sometimes you just plant it in the right place, give it the right amount of fertilizer and sunlight and water, and guess what? It blooms as many blooms as you could wish for. And we are the same way. But how it's just what you're sharing is a commentary that we rarely get what we need. I do see that pain wakes us up, but are we tired of doing it that way? Aren't we tired? Can we not just show up together and rebuild, recreate without a whole lot more pain?
I do think like, my therapist says like my addictions are a shapeshifter, right? So depending on
Mm-hmm.
what's going on in
Oh, I
my,
love that.
it goes from um, me over shopping to having too much sex to overeating to being overly indulgent with like not being on a schedule, like whatever, like just to playing hours and hours and hours of a game on my phone when I'm avoiding like answering emails, right? So it's a it's a shapeshifter. But when you start to see that none of them work anymore because it is too painful, like I think you're able to hold it differently. Or at least that's how I have been. Like I'm learning in a new way where it's still painful, but I kind of know those blows that like I know how to like hold it a little bit differently where it doesn't feel like my house just burnt down.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes
Yeah, totally.
Well
I'm trying to
said.
learn how to identify them because I feel like there's me, like grown ass me, but then there's like somebody will say something and then all of a sudden I'm 9 again or I'm 12 again. And I'm like, why do I keep getting pulled back when I'm here? And so it's like, it's about pulling all those parts forward
Mhm.
so that I'm not taken back to that like one traumatic moment when I was 9 or that one time where, my dad wasn't nice to me or whatever stupid thing happened that I just internalized and held on to as like a landmine that somebody can just come and like poke the bear and I'm like in a whole frenzy about.
my sister is doing this cool work
Mm.
that might relate to what you're doing, where she's named all of her child triggers. She's like, there's middle school jazz, all these
Incredible.
different people. She's like spent the last like 6 months like indulging them.
Oh,
Like, so she just like goes and sees them, right? And so
don't
she'll
you wish we could have like a school for this? There needs to be like a Hogwarts school for inner work that everybody should be required to do. It would
because
be so
we would
good.
we would be free.
We would
Like
be
my sister,
free.
she just bought a Cabbage Patch. She like has Care Bears. She's like freeing these people, quote unquote, that like when somebody says something that triggers her back to that middle school jazz, she's able to like know and be like, "Girl, we see you. Don't
Mm-hmm.
go running rampant," because she also has like a crazy side, and and now she can like hold space with like these triggered identities that are within her own person.
Mm.
It's pretty cool.
That's
So
incredible.
powerful.
That's so powerful.